Hello dear friends and welcome to this video. I hope you're doing amazing. Here it's beautiful summer and I just came home from Rome with some extra energy. So I hope this will be a nice video for you guys. So today we will talk about being a diabetic and snacking. And here for me I will tell a little bit from my experience, and you can also do what applies the best for your life. But we can maybe start with the things that for me really doesn't work, and I think also for most other people can be quite problematic. And this is of course if you're a diabetic and you snack with a lot of sugary thing during the day. At least for me that's been the worst type of snacking when it comes to keeping a stable blood sugar. And it can be difficult, often at work or in social situations. There are not the healthiest options, that's available for snacking. Chocolate, not a healthy chocolate, but the unhealthy one, or buns or whatever, chips and so on. And it's kind of right in front of you, and it can be quite difficult. But for me at least, that's always been problematic with my blood sugar. So this unhealthy, very sugary types of snacks, especially the combination of fat and sugar, that for me is really the worst. And also for me it's problematic snacking very, very late. So right before bed or some hours just before bed, also not so easy. I don't sleep so good, and also often I can see that my blood sugar then rise through the early period of the night. So I also really try to avoid snacking at this time, especially this type of not so healthy, very sweet, fatty snacks that is very easily available, like chips for example. But every time I do it, I try to take enough insulin, but it's like I never can take enough in a way. So there I would highly recommend maybe considering not snacking or some healthier options. But I do always keep on me some snacks. And why do I do that? In case of low blood sugar. So I will always have something with me. And I will also have these energy gels in case of really low blood sugar. So I have kind of a snack for a little bit low, and then I can adjust. And then of course I have my energy gels for if it should get very, very low. And here I normally have dried fruit, not sweetened in any ways, just fruit, 100% fruit that has been dried. For me that works very good. I think it tastes amazing. For example, dried apricots or dried raisins or something like this. And it also makes my blood sugar really fast come back up again if it's getting low. So for me that has been working very, very good. And there is of course other alternatives with snacks that are quite healthy. Some people struggle with getting hungry, then they eat unhealthy things, but maybe instead you can have a good and healthy snack, If you're really hardcore, you can do like carrots, vegetables, things like that. But maybe for most of us that's not, I don't know, in theory it should be possible, but for me also just snacking carrots, I don't know, it will not work. But what I love is, for example, nuts. They don't affect my blood sugar at all. And I really like, for example, walnuts. So I will often then just have some walnuts or pumpkin seeds or things like this. I really love the taste, and it really doesn't affect my blood sugar if I then get hungry. So this can be a very good alternative. You can also mix it, so you can have some dried fruit and then mix it with some nuts. These type of energy mixes also wonderful. All the fiber also makes the blood sugar don't really spike so fast, but slowly go up. And there are many things now one can buy in the store, for example yogurts, but again make sure that they are healthy, not too much sugar and so on. Or a fruit, a banana. Often if I'm going to have a workout, then a big banana. I don't need to take any insulin. I take, for example, a big banana, and then I can do my workout without any problem or any danger of getting low blood sugar. So this is of course also a very healthy and good alternative to have a fruit then during the day if you get snacky. And an apple, for example, is super if you're not even doing exercise, because an apple has so much fiber and so much weight, and it doesn't have so much calories. So also if one wants to think a little bit about weight control, then for example an apple can be really amazing. And I also heard this really nice trick that if you're going to have a big meal and you suffer a little bit from overeating, then you can have, for example, an apple maybe half an hour before the meal, big apple, and you will eat less during the meal. So this is also something to think about. Or you just snack a carrot before you're having dinner, you will eat less because you're already a bit filled up from the carrot or the apple. So this can also be very, very smart. Not go to the candy box and start, then it can be problematic if you're a diabetic. Not healthy for anybody, but especially if you're a diabetic, this can be problematic. So these are some of my experiences with snacking, what works for me, what doesn't work so well, and I hope this also can be useful for you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.